All right. Hi there. My name is Rio Waller, and I am the instructor for CIT 82 Introduction to Web Development. This course is one I've been teaching for a couple of years now, and this semester I'm actually redoing the content. I'm bringing it up to date. That's my goal. So I'm excited to have you look at the content and work through it and give me feedback as we do that. So this course is intended as the first course in the web developer program, and in this class we want to give you that overview of all things web, internet, HTML, CSS, introduction to those. If you're going on, which I hope you are in this program, you would actually take the next course, which would be 85, that I'll talk about in one of our assignments that is intended to just focus on HTML and CSS. But for our course, we'll also introduce you to Bootstrap. Bootstrap still relevant for fast deployment, prototyping of websites. This course will have weekly discussions, some of it hands-on discussions, meaning you do some work and you show that work through the discussion board. Some of it current topics where you watch something or you reflect on something that I'll give you, and then in those discussions you'll reply to other students. And then the other part of this course, well, there's lectures, of course, and then a lot of these lectures starting after week one are hands-on lectures, meaning you generally are following along a video where you're coding along with that video. So when I say lectures, don't think about, and a few of them are, but most of them are actually hands-on experiences where you're following along. So try not to think of them as your typical lectures. Mine are intended to be more interactive. Okay. So what I want to do in this video, besides just welcome you to the course, I'm glad you're here. This is a 9-week, so it's a compressed course format. And why I emphasize that here is that sometimes students take a class and they don't realize that it's only a short-term class. And so that makes it, I don't want to say more important to keep on track, but very important to keep up with the course, because it's going to be basically like 2 weeks in a regular 18-week course in 1 week. So having stayed up to date, when we get to the end, you're going to be in a much better position to do probably what is the most important thing in a class like this, which is a project. You will build a website from Bootstrap, from a Bootstrap template. You'll learn more about that as we move through. You'll learn GitHub in this class, which is a fundamental skill. If you've heard of GitHub, great. If you haven't, no worries. You're going to learn about what that is. I'm going to show you how to set up a local dev environment. Way important for understanding that, how to actually clone, or probably the term most people would think of when we're doing this is copying it, but we're actually not just copying it. We're connecting our local dev environments to GitHub, which is a website, and then we're pushing code to GitHub, and it's just a fundamental skill for web developers, right? So there's besides all that, you're going to learn a lot of other concepts in this course, again, about this broad stroke of web development, which is a really relevant skill in our world. As you can imagine, everything we do pretty much on our phones, on our computers, right? Our cameras, our refrigerators. I mean, I could go on and on. Our cars, my car is completely connected to the web. So, I mean, everything is in some way connected. So, having this skill, or in this case, the beginning understanding of what that looks like, is very helpful, and I think way relevant to what we're doing. So, what I want to do is just spend a few minutes looking at the course to give you that overview. So what I have here is I have the course open, and I have it open as you're going to see it when you come in, and you have to start here. And what do I mean by that? Well, notice that these areas are grayed out compared to here. And that's what I mean when I say you have to move through this course in sequence. In order to get to the Discord, you actually have to do something here on the start here. I've already given you kind of this, and we've talked about the sequential. I've discussed a little bit about the weekly stuff. But in order for you to move to the next item, you actually need to go set up your GitHub username. Now, I'm just going to click on the link here. I obviously already have an account, but what you're going to do is sign up. And you just have to go through the sign up process. You can use whatever email you want. It doesn't matter. Answer the questions. Do not, I mean, you may get marketed to buy a paid account, but this is a completely free site. Don't do that. But once you get your account, okay, once you get your account, whatever that is, now, like for me, so let me just show you oh, sorry. So once you get set up with GitHub, part of what you're setting up is a username, right? So once you get to here, right, this is all I need. Again, this is the process you will follow to set up your username. And you can either submit this whole URL or you can just give me your username as the assignment here. And you can't get to the next item. That was my point before until you do this, which is the way the course is set up. Okay. That's what I want you to understand about this. Notice how, because I got out, I came back to the home, which put me back in that weekly, week 0. Again, this is intended to be done before the start of the semester, which is why I'm releasing the course a little early. Okay, so hopefully that gives you enough to get started with the course. Here's the good news. There's not any required purchase of materials for this class. You will be using VS Code, and VS Code is an editor completely free from Microsoft, the most popular editor. Now, you'll learn the difference between what we might refer to as a typical editor, a text editor, versus an IDE, which is an integrated development environment. So that's like a spectrum, right? So on the low end is a text editor, on the higher end is a complete integrated development environment. And VS Code is not considered a complete IDE, but man, the way it has grown because so many people besides Microsoft are contributing to the infrastructure of this tool because it is an open source program. A lot of content there, but I guess my point was about this. There's no required purchase of materials, which I have made a commitment to. I source all the content for this class. So you're either watching a video from somewhere I've sourced or you're watching me or somewhere in between, but there is no, honestly, for a class like this, it'd be hard to find a textbook that's relevant because it moves so quickly and moves quickly, changes often the same thing. So, that's why I'm excited for this semester because I'm redoing the content to bring it more up to date. All right, glad you're here. Go get that GitHub username and then go to watch my next video that talks about Discord. Do you know about Discord? If not, I hope you consider joining because it is a great way to get support from your fellow classmates when you might be working late at night when I'm not, because I'm typically not. I'm typically an early morning gal. I get up in the morning, check into my classes, go for a workout, work my day, and typically I'm not up at night, but some of you are. So having Discord, and if I'm around, you're going to hear this again, so apologize for that. But if I'm around, I'll reply on Discord. But if you want to talk to me, use Canvas. Okay, all right. Have a good one and get started whenever you want, but of course before the start of the semester.